Okay, Simon, so we're on site here today and we are looking at the HRV system. Some people obviously think opening your windows and doors is how you get fresh air into a home, but in a high performance home, we put in a HRV system. So what exactly is a HRV system?
So it's a type and form of mechanical ventilation system. So being an airtight home, such as this high performance home, it filters and brings in clean, fresh air, filters it, and it provides 24/7 clean conditioned fresh air. So it's great for asthmatics, filtered air. Don't mistake it because it's not a air conditioning system. It's great to ensure that condensation, CO2 is removed out of the house, and obviously looks and helps and prevents with mould build-up within your home.
So essentially it's not just clean, fresh, filtered air coming into the home, but it actually has an extraction
as well.
An extraction point where it actually extracts out any sort of stale condensation in the air. So it's extracting it out of the home into the extractor fan, and basically that extractor fan then brings the clean, fresh, filtered air in, and it holds that warmth and brings it back into the home, and that's sort of, you know, allowing for that steady temperature.
Yep. And therefore allows our projects in a home like this to, one, we can keep the windows closed, or we can open them, and our clients have the option of doing that in this particular build.
And what is the benefit of, you know, why would people not want to open their windows? What's the benefit there if the climate outside isn't appealing?
Well, if it's 40 degrees outside in the hot summer sun, you know, it's probably not a great idea to be opening your windows. And then if you're looking reverse winter, you don't want to be opening them up when it's 5 degrees outside. So the benefit of a home like this allows an internal steady temperature all year round.
So I think let's get clear here. Is a HRV system the same as ducted air conditioning?
No, it's not.
And what's the difference for people who sort of haven't had a HRV system before, a heat recovery ventilation system? How is that different to a heating and cooling ducted system?
So a HRV system looks at bringing in clean, fresh air, filters it, and then extracts the filtered air outside. So that happens 24/7, that doesn't change. Whereas an air conditioning system,
Yep.
just heats and cools your home when required. So by having this type of system, it assists with pollens, has health benefits, clean conditioned fresh air, helps with humidity, CO2 in the house. So there's a lot of health benefits by having a HRV system. However, you still need heating and cooling to a certain degree, but we can minimise the size of the units being an energy efficient home.
And what's the benefit of being able to reduce the heating and cooling systems that you use within a home?
So by having an airtight home, using the appropriate windows, we're able then to determine through modelling what size units we require for a home like this.
And obviously a smaller unit means that...
Smaller unit means that it's not as expensive to install, a larger unit is not required, and a smaller unit is, however, a lot cheaper to run. And we can determine through modelling how often and the duration of when that needs to be turned on and off.
So essentially a HRV system does not replace or do the same thing as ducted heating and cooling. You still need both, but having a HRV system and an airtight home means that you're able to have a smaller ducted system or split systems, which means less on your bills because you're not having to run them 24/7 to keep your home at a steady temperature.
One thing to note when using a HRV system and air conditioning is knowing where to put all your pipes. All your roughing conduits, they all need to look at going into risers, so it's important to make sure that at the designing stage you do have those allocations and provisions in place. For example, at the back of this unit here we have a riser, and this is located in our laundry here. That then leads up to our first floor, and then from there it's able then to go into the roof space and then branch out to the various areas. So whether it's an intake or an extraction, it doesn't have any impact on the other habitable rooms within the house. So now we're upstairs, and we just recently went through all the congested pipework for the HRV system, which is in our risers. Everything now is able to branch out to the various rooms in the pantry at the moment, and as you can see here now, you can start seeing all branching off from the risers. So we're in the pantry, this will be an extraction, indicated by the colour red, and then we'll have some supply airs that actually now in the various other rooms up here. And then that will bring in the clean conditioned fresh air. The red will extract the stale air out of the rooms. There's certain areas where you'll have extraction fans, and they're typically in your wet areas, laundry, pantry, en-suites, bathrooms. And then your intake is everywhere else. So that'll be your bedrooms, living areas, your kitchens, etc. And that is all pre-planned out and modelled at the start of the job. We're in the laundry at the moment, so if you are thinking of putting a HRV system or ERV system in your home, you do need to plan and have an allocated space in your home. So it's very important to get the right people on, like Drew at the very start, to then tell you what size room allocation you need for these units, and that way you can, I guess, construct and build around it. Here we are in the laundry, and this is our setup here. It's still work in progress. There'll be like a manifold piece to cover, I guess, all the piping, etc. But I guess for the purpose of today's video, we can at least run through all the components and show you exactly what all these components do.
Yeah, so we've got the main unit where all the heat recovery, the filtration, that's all done in this main unit. And then we've got the noise attenuation. They're called attenuators. Basically takes all the noise from the unit out of the ducting system. This is our insulated pipe. That goes to outside, bringing our fresh air in and taking our exhaust air out. They must always be insulated. And then, yeah, we've got all our ducting, our 90mm tubes that go to each room, provides the fresh air. And then at back here, we've got our stale air coming in, and this is where all the mixing gets done. So the air never actually touches, but it goes through and takes all the energy through the core. In winter, there can be some condensation, so we do require a 40mm drain underneath the HRV. Some builders do forget that, but that is an important one for a HRV.
Once these systems are up and running, are they a noisy system? How do they end up operating?
Good question, Simon. So they're pretty quiet. They've got like a little hum to them. So generally we do like them in a laundry, in a cupboard, away from like bedrooms and stuff like that. Because in boost mode, they do generate a little bit more because you're ramping it up 30 to 40%. They do require a little bit more airflow, which, you know, in turn creates a little bit more noise. But that is only while you're boosting. So showering, going to the bathroom, stuff like that. But then that just ramps back down, speed 2, and then it's pretty much dead silent, I would say, the majority of the time.
And for those that don't probably know what boosting is, it's the same type of switching. But if you're going to in your bathroom or your shower ensuite, you just flick the switch as if you're turning on your exhaust fan. In this instance, it's boosting.
Activates the HRV, yeah. So when you've got a heat recovery ventilation system, 90% of the time you will not have any exhaust fans. You will have maybe a kitchen range would go to outside, or it'd be recirculating. You will be able to get rid of the exhaust fans because you do want to utilize all that heat out of the air in the steam and, you know, the bathroom's causing, and reuse that in winter. But the airflow rates are a little bit slower. You will get a little bit of condensation in the bathroom, but that will, you know, it'll dissipate pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's right. And obviously this system will be running 24/7.
Correct.
Whereas most people would go in, typically turn an exhaust on, have a shower for 5 minutes, walk out and turn it off.
Turn it off, that's right. And then the humidity goes throughout the house and can create mold issues in the bathroom. Sometimes if it's not, you know, if it's always stays pretty wet. But these units will dry out your bathroom a lot better over the course of 24 hours.
And that boost system, when it gets activated, that stays on what, for probably 40 minutes after someone has showered?
Yep, so you can set it from say 30 to 45 minutes and that'll stay in an elevated fan rate, speed 3 boost. And then yeah, it just drops back down into speed 2 naturally. You don't need to do anything. It'll just automatically drop back down.
And I guess for those out there, is there a great deal of maintenance required on these units? You know, what's an owner to expect if they have one of these installed in their home?
Yeah, so just filters is the biggest thing. So you extract filters from the air from inside, get done here through the extract. So these will stay pretty clean because we do have a little filter up at each extract. We've got a little cone filter up at extract grill, and that keeps our ducts nice and clean. So that one, you know, that'll last a lot longer than say the outdoor air, which this one will get pretty dirty. This is nice and clean now, but that will get pretty dirty pretty quickly depending on the outdoor environment. So you might find after 3 months, you might want to vacuum. To 6 months, give it another vacuum every sort of quarterly. And then I'd say around 9 to 12, you probably do want to change it. These aren't washable, the cone filters are. in the extracts. These are not washable because the particulate is so fine that you just can't wash it out.
So it's probably a good idea to have a few of these on hand in your cupboards.
100%, yeah. I would always try and carry an extra one because, you know, sometimes it might take a week or 2 weeks to get your filters, but always use the genuine proper filters for the unit. Some people do sell like a copy, but they are not to the ISO standard. They are not manufactured the same, and they will not deliver the same performance and get the right amount of particulates out of the air for your home. So anyone selling substandard filters, you just do need to be a little bit careful.
And they're not expensive anyway, so you're better off just to buy the proper system.
The proper system. Yeah, they're around $100 for the year, but I mean, that's pretty good for your lungs and you know, your health. Yeah.
Is there an indication panel, or how do the owners know when to change without having to physically, I guess, pull the filter out? Does it somehow get indicated on this panel?
It does. So you've got a little screen here. There's different systems and have got different modes. Like another system we do might have an app. This system is a control panel. And yes, it will alert you when the filters do need changing. And they've got a pressure sensor and it works on time as well. So you'll notice when your steam's not, you know, when your bathroom's not defogging quick enough and you're not getting the right amount of airflow as well, it's generally a blocked filter or a blocked grill or something like that. But yeah, every quarter I do recommend people to check their filters, turn off the unit, pull the filters out and have a good look and make sure they are pretty, you know, clean. When they do get black, that's when you need to change them.
So this being a new home, a lot of new products, tiles, paints, floor coverings, these products emit VOCs. So I guess, does this system now assist with the off-gassing of all these various new products?
Yeah, it certainly does. If you, in the middle of winter, decide you don't want to open windows as much as what you normally would in, you know, at mild sort of times and in summer, when you've got everything closed up, bringing in fresh filtered air and changing that air, we're changing that air, you know, 8 times over 24 hours. Every 3 hours, this unit will change the whole volume of the house. Now that helps with all the off-gassing, all the pollutants, VOCs. It makes the air a lot healthier than what it would be. Just all the chemical and your CO2 levels and stuff just sitting in the house.
Do owners notice a difference when they do move into these types of homes that are airtight, operated with HRV systems?
Yeah, we have a lot of good feedback. They sleep better depending on certain things. Their allergies are a lot better. So a lot of people that have been on Telfast or, you know, antihistamines their whole life, and then they come into an airtight, filtered to a very good level, high level, and they are a lot better. They don't feel like they need to pop pills flat out, and yeah, they're just much healthier. People don't get sick as often because the germs and whatever's going on in the house, you've got supplies and extracts filtering that air everywhere. So
I notice with us, we have a very young family. We have 4 kids, and very little do we get sick.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Same with the kids. Yeah, something that we can definitely recommend.
And when you do get sick, you tend to get over it a lot quicker. It doesn't linger as long.
Because you've got a nice clean environment.
Yeah, clean environment.